مشاهدينا في كل مكان، أهلا بيكم. احنا معاكم اليوم في ضيافة سعادة السفير سيرجي ترانتيف، سفير دولة بيلاروسيا لدى جمهورية مصر العربية. عن لقاء اليوم هنتحدث عن أبرز المحطات الدبلوماسية لسعادة السفير، وأيضا هنتحدث عن دولة بيلاروسيا. فتعالوا معنا نبدأ هذا اللقاء. كل مكان بيسعدنا أن يكون في ضيافتنا اليوم سعادة السفير سيرجي ترانتيف، سفير دولة بيلاروسيا لدى جمهورية مصر العربية. Your Excellency, please allow me to thank you so much for this interview.
The pleasure is mine.
At the beginning, Your Excellency, we would like to know more about your diplomatic experience before coming to Egypt. So can you please tell us more about it?
Well, I am profoundly grown up from economic diplomacy. I graduated at Economic University in Belarus, and all my career I was working mainly in economic field. So this is very good for me now, as far as in our relations with Egypt, economy, investment, technology, this is a core. So it pays off. As to my previous experience, I was working in some locations, some other locations, namely in Tokyo, in Japan, and of course in my home ministry. All my career I was dealing with economic relations with countries of Asia, Africa and the Middle East. So in principle this is it.
You have been also in Africa before the Middle East.
Well, I've been invited in 2001 for courses organized by Diplomatic Academy of Egypt. So it was my first experience and first visit to Africa in the whole. So it was a marvelous experience which actually is of great use now.
And this is also your first present in the Middle East.
True. First time in Middle East, first time in Africa, and this was Egypt.
How do you see the difference between being in Egypt or in the Middle East and other European countries?
Well, you know that historically speaking, Belarus and Egypt are very close nations, and I would say that it would not be a mistake to say that we understand each other better, we feel each other better in the company of each other, so I do feel like at home.
That's great to hear. Your Excellency, normally also our second question is about the country, Belarus itself, the country, the people. So we would like to know more about the geographic nature of Belarus and the place on the map of Belarus also, plus the natural resources that's found in your country. So can you please tell us more?
Belarus is a country in the middle of Europe. We are located between Russia and Poland, between Ukraine and Baltic states. We are not having access to the sea. We are a landlocked country, and I believe due to this reason our national character was somehow influenced. We are a landlocked country and we are landlocked character. We are a country of forests, we are a country of lakes, we are a country of swamps, and this influenced to huge extent our culture, our people. As to natural resources of Belarus, of course our main resource, same as Egypt, is people. Our people is our main resource, and they are the ground for building our present, building our future. If you are talking about other kinds of natural resources, we don't have much oil, we don't have much gas, we have a lot of forests, we have potassium salts, we have a lot of water. Belarus is very abundant in fresh water, freshwater resources, overground and underground. And definitely our people, Belarusians, they value water very much, and we understand that water resources are very useful for any country, for the future of any country, and for the future of Earth, for everybody.
So having all this water under the ground and above the ground, it means that the agriculture field is a big one. And also I hear that in Belarus you produce agriculture machinery and you export it everywhere. So how much do you do until now in your agriculture field?
Well, truth to be said, Belarus is quite self-sufficient in main agricultural products, in our foodstuffs. Of course, we import a lot of it, especially from Egypt as well. Fruits are not grown in Belarus. We are not that tropical country. But what regards main staples like grain, rye, barley, oats, what regards meat, dairy products, milk, all of this we do produce in abundance, and of course we export them a lot. What regards agricultural machinery, say traditionally from the times of Soviet Union, Belarus was a so-called assembly plant of Soviet Union, manufacturing tractors, plowers, silo, other kinds of machinery, and still we do. Still we have a great deal of experience in this regard, and we are eager and we are sharing this experience with our partners. We are sharing this experience with African countries. We have good reasons to hope that we will develop very strong relationships with Egypt in agricultural machinery field as well.
That's great. Now, Your Excellency, we would like to know more about the people, the traditions. Is there any certain custom for the people that you still get attached to it until this moment?
Well, first of all, I think that we have to understand why the country is called Belarus. Sometimes it's mistakenly called Bielorusia. Sometimes in Europe it's called White Russia or any other way. Belarus is Belarus. And true, Bela means white. So Bela, white, Rus, Rus. It's historical name for Eastern European regions. Of course, name Russia also has relations to that, but Russia and Rus are different things. So, when we are asking about appearance or national character of Belarus, white is very important.
White, yeah.
White is very important. There are different reasons, different explanations to that. One, white is for national attire, national costume, national clothes. Historically, we use a lot of flags, which is bleached, which is whitened. You know that usually flax is of a gray color, but after it's whitened, we use it for our national costumes, for our traditional clothes, for belts, for whatever. So traditionally this was our national attire. Another reason, they say that Belarusians were traditionally blonde, as one of the countries that was influenced by their relations with Scandinavia. So, okay, blonde people in white shirts, very interesting, okay. Another idea is that Belarus was one of the parts of ancient Rus, or medieval Rus, which was not conquered by Mongol invasion. And they say that's why it's unconquered, clean of clean of invasion. So this was one more reason to explain why it's white. So historically, it worked like this. And I must tell to you that this whiteness influenced the national character, influenced people, influenced population, and you can find some features relevant to that in our people even these days.
When I asked about the people also, Excellency, I wanted also to know about the family bonding, because what I knew that in Belarus, they have a very strong bonding in the family. They are not like other Europe, they are individuals and children and so on. No, they like to have a bond in one family.
Well,
like,
you know,
sometimes it's like the Middle East, as we can say in this field.
Traditional values, traditions of bonds inside families, they are very strong. We value these bonds, we enjoy saying having big families. What regards the memory of those gone, we value, say, cemeteries. We take care of cemeteries. There are some national holidays related to the memory of those deceased. And so, yes, it's very important in our culture, but no. Frankly speaking, the so-called influence of civilization is also very much felt in Belarus as well. So I must tell to you that I am very much impressed with what I see here, with what I see here in Egypt. And I hope that we will learn something from here, and maybe we will use your attitude, your way to nourish family bonds in my society. So yes, we do value it. Yes, we do have it, but not as strong as you do have it here. And frankly speaking, I'm very much happy to see the way families are built here and families are kept here. I want to study from you in this regard.
Music plays a big part in the families in Belarus. They all love music, love to learn kind of music, playing music. So please tell us more about this.
Well, I can tell you about my own experience and about my family bonds. I was taught national music of Belarus by my grandma. And we enjoyed sitting like winter evenings when there is nothing to do in the village to just singing. And people enjoy singing together, all alone, or during some occasions like weddings. This is, yes, definitely a very popular pastime. Well, Belarus keeps its traditions in music. I must tell to you that it's very much relevant, similar to neighboring countries as well, like Russia, like Ukraine, like Poland, I'm sure of that. Also, Belarus is very strong in classical music. Mm-hmm. You know that Belarus also has its own Bolshoi theater. Belarusian opera, Belarusian ballet school is one of the strongest in the region, and it's very much developed. By the way, we do have exchanges, and I hope that this kind of exchanges will be more active with Cairo Opera as well.
Yeah, I hear that the people are very distracted to inherit this love of ballet and music to the new generations. That's right. Yes,
Belarusians, they do enjoy ballet culture, they do enjoy opera culture, but I hope it's all has its roots in Soviet Union, when theater, when culture was very much strongly developed, a lot of, say, allocations, time, investment was put into this field. So this is our heritage, and we value this heritage. I must tell to you, you can call it a school, you can call it a strong school, somebody can call it industry, cultural industry. Yes, it's very strong. Our teachers, our professors in musical education, in ballet education, they are world renowned, world respected. And yes, this is something that we can be proud of. Not only traditional songs, not only traditional dances, but also classical ones.
That's great. I would like to ask about the field of industry. What is the most important industries that is held in Belarus? And please tell us the volume of trading in this field especially.
As I mentioned, Belarus traditionally during Soviet time was an assembly plant for it. So we were partly agricultural country, and we were to huge extent manufacturing industry country. So heavy machinery is a traditional sector for Belarus, like trucks, agricultural machinery, tractors, which are quite known here in Egypt. Mining equipment for closed underground mining or for open mining, any type. Just to say that in huge mining truck sector, Belarus holds like 30% of world market. And the biggest truck in the world, 400-ton capacity, was produced in Belarus. So we are very proud of this sector. Also, I must tell to you that the sector of high-tech electronics was very much developed during the Soviet times, and again we've preserved and we multiplied, diversified this sector. So we are developing it very actively, and I believe this sector could also be the good ground for us to cooperate with Egypt. Talking about other fields, chemical industry. As far as Belarus is very much related and has very good connections with Russian oil and Russian gas suppliers. Based on that, we have very strong industries in the production of chemical fibers, chemical fertilizers, paints, other kinds of things. So this is our specialization historically. Also wood industry. Belarus is a big supplier of wood.
About wood, especially you have the ancient forests already. So do you have any trading in the wood industry?
Yes, we do. But talking about ancient forests, this is untouchable. You know, this is untouchable. This is a national park, and the wood which is there is very old, very say important, very unique for us, especially when we are talking about oak. Oak is something that is even deep in our tradition. Oak means strong, gamete. So anyway, oaks there are untouchable. But of course we have forests, we have woods that can be used in economic activities. And yes, we are exporters. We are exporters of wood, but we prefer not to export raw wood. We prefer unprocessed food. We prefer to export pulp, for example, paper, furniture. So this is a very important field for us too.
I'm going to ask you something about the status of women in Belarus. So can you please tell us about it?
Well, you know, in Belarus, women, of course, they are the heart and they are the keepers of a society. They are traditionally keepers of our families. So in this regard, their role is very much important, but times change, and the role of women in our society increases. Traditionally, fields of medicine, fields of schools, universities, they were dominated by women. But now it changes, and we see a lot of women who become politicians, like our parliament. In different years, we have 30 to 40% of deputies in the parliament who are women. We also have increasing number of ladies in our diplomacy, in our business, in the field of science and tech. So it increases, it changes. But still, I must tell to you that yes, women are the heart, women are the soul of the society and our families. Still, this is true.
That's great to hear about. Your Excellency, thank you so much for this interview, and please allow me to have another one to talk about the relation between Egypt and Belarus, but in another episode. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you.
مشاهدينا في كل مكان، وكده انتهى لقائنا مع سعادة السفير سيرجي ترانتيف، سفير دولة بيلاروسيا لدى جمهورية مصر العربية. احنا النهارده تحدثنا مع سعادة السفير عن ابرز محطاته الدبلوماسية، وايضا تحدثنا عن دولة بيلاروسيا. اتمنى ان انتم تكونوا استفدتوا بكل المعلومات اللي قدمناها لكم، واشوفكم على خير والى اللقاء.